Hi guys, and welcome to how I created my boyfriend's scrapbook. So in this video, I'll give you guys like a very detailed explanation on exactly what I've done in this scrapbook and how I've created what I've created. And so I just hope you guys like it. So this is what the book looks like. Very bulky. And when you turn the page, you go straight into it and you can just see my dog chewing on his bone like usual. But you see the story of us in 1 year, and it's very, very dramatic. There's a lot of things going on the page, and it's very, very basic book concept, right? And you'll see that a lot during the book. And you can also see that I also did write down written by me, and also that the book does belong to him, right? And it's just to show that it's gonna be like a book, a very basic book concept, right? And you can also see that the picture on here as well, the heart, is just like the same one on the very front of the page. And I did that on purpose just to show that that very picture is very significant to us and the scrapbook. So you'll see that a lot in the page, as well as our anniversary date. That's just the date of today. And it's very significant to this book as well. So going right into the envelope, you'll see exactly why this envelope is very significant while we go straight into the book as well. I also put a little stamp on it just to show that it's like a little envelope that's about to be getting mailed off to him. And when we open the envelope, right away you see that it says open me, and you see a bunch of letters, a little bunch of poems, and it's all just to show what you might be seeing all throughout the scrapbook. It's all very significant and it all has meaning to it. This is basically what I've basically told him today, which is our anniversary. So I basically told him at exactly 12 o'clock this whole paragraph. So when you go straight into the book, the first page says the first day we met, don't mind my dog. Right? So this is just like a full day of what we've done on the very first time that we met each other, which is so crazy. So like I basically explained how we really met, and then, you know, the first day we got together, which was crazy because we went to Niagara for the first time. So yeah, that's basically where we, you know, got to know more about each other, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Starting with November, because November is the very first time we actually met. Yeah, so this is like a little collage, I guess, of all the pictures we've taken on that very day, which was November 7th. And I make sure that I put all the dates down for all of the pictures that I have down on the book, right? And then I have a very tiny description of what we've done and exactly like how I felt and just stuff like that. Then when we move on to the third page, I just kind of explain like what it looked like, you know, on these kinds of days. And it's like first time for everything. So I make it very clear that we had our very first things on different days, right? And then if we move on to the fourth page, I just kind of like show our very first trip together as well, which ended up being a Port Credit, which is cool. And I think this was the day I realized that I really liked to travel with this guy. So yeah, so this was one of the other places we went to. 3 reasons why I loved him, right? And mind you, I am not an artist, okay? So yes, I cut and pasted a lot of stuff. And then in this page, I just showed the very first time he met Milo, my dog. And then also, I also record another trip that we've made in December, and a little description of like how I felt, and you know what it was like to go there, and just little things like that. Christmas Eve, and then we have Christmas Day. So obviously I gave him the big bear as his present, and that was like the biggest one I was waiting to give him. And then on Christmas Day, this was our text messages, bear emojis. And this was his gift to me. So then he gave me a promise ring, and I just kind of want that, you already know. I tried to draw something close to it. I know, like, it's not. Anyways, I am not an artist, okay? But this was the best I could do. And New Year's, this is where we went to. We went to Niagara Falls again. I actually just recently came up with this idea to put the heart on the envelope like this. I was just amazed at how it turned out. But yeah, so every single time that I'm done with the month, I basically just put a little letter here as well. And at the top, as you can see, I have Love Bug. At every month when I do a letter like this, I have different names up here, and they're just different names that I call him. So yeah, I call him a lot of different names. Also, you'll notice that every heart is different on every envelope that I've made, and it's because I actually wrote down 12 reasons why I love him, right? So on every single envelope is different. And this is just one of the reasons on the very first month that I've done this for. And then when you do open the envelope, it will show you a bunch of things. So every month is different, but every month will have the same things. So every month will have a map, because every month we went somewhere. So every month we'll have a map of the places we've went to. And every month we'll have a poem, right? And at the back, I've also just described where we went and the date on each of the maps. Okay, so I just tried to lay it out for you guys just to see kind of what I've done. So yes, I used a little paper clip to put it together, but it's just to organize it a little bit better. So for example, this was Halton Hills, and I highlighted basically the whole of it because I'm not sure where we went in Halton Hills, but we went everywhere in it. Fact. We went to the conservation area, for example, and it just shows where it is. And the car wash, obviously, that's his favorite car wash. Kelso Lake, that was in Milton, and I kind of just show where that is. And then you have Falls View Casino Resort. So as you can see on the maps, it actually doesn't tell you exactly where it is. So that's why I put it down at the back. It says Falls View Casino Resort, but you don't know what city it's in. It was actually in Niagara, and I did explain it in the page over there, but it's just to remind him that it was Niagara's casino, and the date as well, because I know it's harder to see it like this. So Kelso Lake was in Milton, and I make sure I make that clear, and I put the date down again. Same with the hand car wash. I put down where it was, Toronto, and the date. And then you just kind of put everything back in the envelope. Doesn't really matter what order, because as long as it's in the envelope, it should be good. And then over here is our trip to Milton. So I put down our selfies first, then the views we've had. Then we move on to his birthday. So if you caught it here, I wrote down our birthday month. So this is his birthday on this day. He's Capricorn year, you know. And then that's his text messages that he sent me. My birthday, but we didn't end up doing anything for it because of reasons. But you'll see the poem. But what's different about it now is it also has a photo. And I actually had to print this photo out because this was, and I have the date as well, obviously. This is a very popular picture that we always use for everything. This is just the best picture we took. And this is just screenshots of him, right? And when you flip it over, then you see it. I can't expose him, but yeah. And I have it down this way so that, you know, it's kind of a surprise. So it's like when you flip it over, oh my gosh, why would you print out pictures like that of me? Yeah. This is the cover photo for February. As you can see, it's me. There's no reason for me to be on there, but it just is. Okay, yeah, it was just very random for February. Then when you turn the next page, you see a whole lot of things going on, and you could tell that this is a big switch from November, December, and January. Just those 3 months. And it's because it's a new year, you know, more things happened, you know, we got to know each other a little bit better. So I'm just showing that every month it just kept getting better. I literally show it. Screenshots. So the screenshots are just paragraphs of him explaining to me Happy Valentine's Day. And then we have the poem. And this is our March cover. Okay, so a lot more things going on. You can see that there's a big change from February to March. So I actually explained the pictures now, and I kind of, tell you or the audience or him what's going on, right? So that's the cover for March. Then when you flip over, you can see that there's a change again. So now you can tell that now I'm just doing collages. And again, it's because just to save some space, right? And I realize it's not even a bad idea. It's actually a nicer way to kind of organize everything, and it consumes so much more space. I don't know. I never thought of doing a collage, but I think this was the best way to go with this scrapbook. And then when you just flip the page, obviously, there is, an envelope. So now you could just see that I condensed the pages. So it's really just 2 pages that I'm using now. A little new message, and then when you take it out, the cover is changed. And if I'm being honest with you, I messed up. I messed up on the back of most of these pictures. So I ended up having to just cover up my mistake, literally. But yeah, let's not talk about that. So this is the poem, and then these are the maps. So as you can see, you can make so many mistakes with this scrapbook and still be able to cover it up, just to be really precise. And then when we move on to April, again, I organize it this way just to show, where we went exactly, and just to also describe what it was like. I also want to give you that visual that we were busy by making the page look busy, right? So I explain everything that we do, all the movies we've watched in detail, the dates as well. I have to make sure I write the dates. And yeah, and again, it's just collages. It's collages of different things. So here it's the views that we've seen together, and on this whole entire page, it's just cars, because he loves cars. So the first car show we went to, second car show, and I explained how I felt going to them. So it's really fun, really colorful. I made sure I used different colors so it wouldn't be so boring, just to give it that effect as well. And then when you turn the page over here, again, you have letters, and it's the same concept: screenshot, poem, and maps. And I don't even consider this to be a lot. We usually go to more places, so just get ready for the rest of the scrapbook. See the pattern already. You know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be collages. Right? So we went to like Simcoe, for example, and then I did a huge collage on this one. This was probably one of my favorite trips, just because the vibe was just different, and there's no way to explain what that was, but it's just all in the pictures, and just by looking at it, I can literally teleport myself back in time and remember everything that happened and the vibe. So yes. Then there's the movies that we've watched. There is the description of how we liked them, and Rahul let me drive his car for the first time. Obviously had to document that one as well, and the date. And then we went to the car shows again, and I obviously had to write the date. So dates for me are very important, because how else will you remember what exactly, like what day you went to these places, right? So I did the extra work to make sure that I documented every single date for every single picture. So for the people who like to analyze things, that's basically what it is, just to basically showcase how everything's always changing. Nothing is always the same. Everything was always changing every single month. I don't know if it's because I'm an English major and I have to analyze things, but that is what it basically is, right? And I'll just open that up and show you guys. I also put the date on this one as well. So this is what he sent me on our 6-month anniversary. Also wrote this to him as well on our 6th month. And the reason why I didn't record the date on this one is because it's basically the same date, and I made sure that I put this letter first, so that if he does open this one first, he sees the date, and then he knows that it's together. So yeah. And then we have another poem and screenshots of him. So this is actually us at Walmart, and I think it's really cute because this is actually a picture of me on a cart and him shopping. I don't know. And so now we find ourselves in June, and this is kind of a little collage that sets the tone for June. So of course I have to make sure that in detail I explain exactly what the pictures are and where we are, as well as the dates are always going to be there. And he'll know that just by looking at it, I'm sure. This is the next page. Again, so the next page is busy. It's different. It's not the same pictures, obviously, so it makes it look like something's different about it, but obviously it's the same concept. We have collages, and it's divided in different sections. So this little thing is supposed to be a road. Yeah. Anyways, the maps. And the maps will literally tell you everywhere we went. We got the poem, and last but certainly not least, we have a screenshot. Ooh, yep. So, yes. And then when we move to July, you can see that it's getting busy already in the first page. So I didn't keep it simple. I tried to, mix it up a little bit. So I actually have 2 collages on one page. I don't know if you noticed, but I've only had one collage on the cover page. Anyways, so we saw a chicken at the mechanic, and this was actually very memorable. That's kind of why it's in the very middle. And this is the car show we went to in Bonn. Had to put the date down for this. But most of the dates and most of the locations for all of these things are obviously going to be in one of these envelopes. But I basically just put down most of the memorable things about this whole collage. So now we move on to the next page, which was meeting my parents for the first time, right? So this was a very memorable day because he got approved. This whole page is just different things that we've done. So I don't know if you noticed, but in every single page, I organize it so that it makes sense. But because there was so many things going on, it had to be this way. It almost looks like I'm brainstorming in this page, but I swear it's just little tiny arrows showing kind of like what we were doing, the dates, where we went. It's just stuff like that, just to make it a little bit more, because I needed space, so just to condense everything together, this is the way I decided to do this page. And this is different, so again, it just goes to show how different this month was compared to other months. And so this is obviously the end of the month, and you already know the envelope's coming. So this is what's in the envelope. That's what it looks like when you open it. I laminated them. This was probably one of the most hardest things to do because I'm not good at laminating. So I'm surprised this one actually turned out. The day that he went to my house, I had to take a picture of this. Emojis is our best friend. Okay. I don't know what we would do without emojis. And by the looks of it, it looks like this might actually be one of the months that we've traveled the most. And now we move on to August. So in August, it was literally a roller coaster. And you can see it here with all of this going on over there. But yeah, I think, it just looks so nice and organized when it's in a collage. So I just love the collage look so much, especially now, because you can see as well, it's very busy, new things. You can tell that we did new things together. And it looks a lot more louder, brighter, funner. And I made sure to make it look that way just by the colors I used and the collage. Okay, so on this page, we went to Yo Amo Tacos. Don't watch the pronunciation. I believe it's Spanish. So it's like a Spanish-themed restaurant. I think it's Mexican. And we did the tango or the salsa or whatever the heck we were doing. We didn't do anything, actually. We couldn't even dance. This was beautiful. And the lighting, the vibe was just Mwah, beautiful, 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 beautiful. So of course I had the date at the top. Over here I had the date at the bottom, and these are just a combination of different events. So I have August 3rd to August 27th because there's no real set date for any of these, but I do explain that on August 3rd we went to Dimitri's, so of course Dimitri's is here, and then we went to Porthouse, so Porthouse is over here. And then on August 27th we went to a barbecue, so that was the barbecue in Halton Hills. And then we went to the beach, and this has to be the most memorable time because I think I've been wanting to go to the beach for a very long time, and I love how we went right when summer was ending. And then we actually went to my cousin's concert that he was performing at the CNE as well. So this was the third time we went, and it was just back to back to back. It was crazy. And this is just a little photo that we all took as a family. Here you know. That was Rahul, me, my mom, dad, and my cousin. So yeah, just beautiful way of showing everything that happened in the whole month. To my good luck charm, you already know, different little saying there. And then we have two other letters. So the letters are always going to be happy anniversary on the month. Okay, so these are the letters. Of course, green would be him and pink would be me. And it looks like we went to a lot more places than I expected. So yeah, these are all the places that we've been to. And now this is September. So September, you're going to see a big change in what I've done. And again, it's just to showcase how different the ones are. Actually, I just ran out of space. So it's like I'm brainstorming again. But really, I'm just trying to tell you what all of the pictures mean. And then we go straight to the envelope because what I did was I instead made something like this. So for example, this was the first time we went to the gym together, and I say the date and I said how much fun I had. This is me, this is him trying to work out, and this is me on the treadmill. Yikes. And I think this is the coolest thing out of the whole scrapbook, and I wish I did more of it. I wish I did more pop-ups and things like that, but I was limited on time, so this is the only pop-up in the book. This was just the day that he came over to my house to help me when I was sick. You can see him bringing the tea. And this was the time when I came with him to work. He was driving very recklessly, and that was actually the last time I went with him to work. But yeah, this was actually in Collingwood as well. This is the last picture, and this was just us at a party. And just looking at it, it's just crazy how I was able to do so many things, you know, at a time where I was actually sick. So this is the collage, just to showcase all of October. Just little tiny events to show what we've done. The best restaurants that we've been to. This was a beautiful restaurant, actually. It's called Takumi Japanese Barbecue and Ramen. I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry, but it was beautiful. Obviously, I had to go back to Yo Amo Tacos. That was another beautiful restaurant. That's why it's rated the best restaurants we've been to so far. And yeah, so this is actually probably one of the last pages in the whole scrapbook. And the reason why I ran out of pages is just to dedicate a whole page to Halloween, which I kind of regret now because we didn't end up taking any pictures together due to, you know, being distracted. But anyways, this was our first time going to the club together, like a real one. Well, the pictures kind of speak for itself. Niagara Falls, we went to Niagara, and we always go to Niagara, so every time we go, we always take pictures together. And I think it's just because we literally met there. Like, that's just our place. And in this page, I really tried to make it work, but we were supposed to dress up as ninjas. I did dress up as a ninja, but obviously he dressed up as something completely different. And the reason for that being he couldn't find a ninja costume, so we couldn't complete the full look. And this is the last little tiny letter for the whole scrapbook. Like, this is the second last reason. This is actually the 11th reason. If you remember, there's 12. We got screenshots of him. We got a poem. And then we have a map. So you know the drill. This is the letter. So whichever one has the date at the top is the one that goes first. So this is the letter he actually sent to me. So this was our 11th month anniversary, and we still kind of said a huge, well, I kind of said a huge essay. And these are the places we went to. So today is the day where we're probably going to take a lot of videos and pictures. So I just dedicated a whole page to today, and whatever pictures and videos we decide to take, I can, let him do the honors of putting it anywhere on this page. It says place photos of this day here. So anywhere on this page, you could just put all of the pictures of the videos maybe that we've taken together. Okay, so now when we flip over to the next page, ooh, we have something very different. Everything that's in this envelope is everything that I've wrote today for our anniversary. And also, I just want to stop to take a look at the memories, because this page, for some reason, just captures everything, in a very small picture. This is why I like the collage. Like, look at that. It just made my life easier with putting all of my pictures together. And so in this envelope now, this has the last reason, so the 12th reason why I love him. And it says, I love you because there is no one else like you. You are my soulmate. And this whole page is dedicated to him just being my soulmate, because I felt like it was really important to say that and show it, and explain it as well. So if you open it, it says open me right away. Open letter for you. So when you just take out everything out of this envelope, there's going to be things that are familiar and things that are different. Exhibit A. We have the poems, but these two poems are definitely different because, first of all, there's two, and usually in these little envelopes we have only one, and they are not double-sided. This one is double-sided for both of them. These are actually glossy. I don't know if you can see, but it's glossy because it's actually a picture. And so while we're looking at the hearts, I just want to explain that I did this on Microsoft Word. So that's how I made the hearts. It wasn't hard at all. But in this heart, it basically has all 12 reasons why I love him. And so me putting it in this little heart at the end just goes to summarize what all of these little hearts on these envelopes were saying. So it's just like a little summary. So we're just getting to the part where we're summarizing everything. So this isn't a poem, but it's more of like a description of what a soulmate is. And I put it back in the envelope. I put it exactly the way I found it. Even though it was a little bit of a predictable book, you still get many surprises and there's always something. But that is the end, but not really, because I believe this isn't really the end. That's why I put down to be continued, to say that we're not done, It's just the beginning. And that's it. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little run through of the book.
my gosh. Whoa.
Yeah.
What the heck? This book is for the hook and my family. In 1 year. Oh! This is so cute. 1 year of holding hands, 1 year of hugging. Oh. Is this the first day?
Mm-hmm.
No way, you took a picture of it?
I actually don't know why I did, but I did.
That's how I parked?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is the very first call, and it actually lasted for that long.
You put a blue heart behind my name that time or no?
Yeah, I think so. That was the very first time we talked.
And you put a blue heart beside it?
Mm-hmm.
Aww, that means that you like me. This is the first time you called me on the phone was the first day we spoke to each other. Our first phone call lasted for 7 hours and 23 minutes. Oh.